everyone, welcome back. Let's dive right into a topic I know has been on a lot of people's minds, the future of work. With AI changing everything so fast, it can feel kind of overwhelming, right?
It really can be.
So we're doing this deep dive today to, well, cut through all the noise and look at some really practical advice. We're focusing on this article, Future-Proofing Your Career in the Age of AI. And don't worry, this isn't about becoming a tech whiz overnight or anything.
Right.
It's about understanding what skills will be valuable no matter what crazy tech comes next.
Exactly. It's interesting because the article starts with this statistic. 70% of workers are unhappy in their jobs. Wow, that's a lot of people. And it really makes you think with AI changing the rules, maybe now is the time to rethink what work even means to us.
I love that. It's not just about finding a job that's, quote, future-proof, but about actually designing a career that you are genuinely excited about.
Yes. And that fits in perfectly with what the article says about aligning your passions and strengths. Don't chase the trendy job titles. Figure out what really excites you, what you're good at.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, I enjoy organizing things, but how do you translate that into a career?
That's such a good point. It can be tough to connect those dots, right? The article suggests some self-reflection. Think about skills you enjoy using even outside of work. Like if you love organizing events for friends, maybe project management is something to explore.
Oh, I like that. It's like looking for clues in what you already gravitate towards.
Mm. Exactly. Or if you enjoy breaking down complex topics so they're easy to understand, well, hello, teaching and communications careers. There are tons of possibilities.
I love that. And I think that's something we'll come back to throughout this deep dive. But I have to say, for a lot of people, there's this gap between recognizing those passions and then having the confidence to actually,
Sure.
go for it.
No, absolutely. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in, which is a huge theme in this article.
Okay, so let's talk about that because we're not just talking about being nice at work, right?
Uh,
Emotional intelligence, or EQ, seems like it's about handling the human side of things, which feels more important than ever, honestly.
exactly.
Yeah.
The article actually breaks it down into 5 key components they are: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. And yeah, I know those can sound like, corporate buzzwords sometimes, but trust me, they're incredibly powerful tools, not just for the future of work, but for life in general. And they're skills that become even more important as AI takes over some of those routine tasks. So let's break down each component, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. Starting with self-awareness. I feel like that's the foundation, right? Knowing your own strengths, weaknesses, what makes you tick.
Exactly. It's about understanding your own emotions and how they influence your thoughts and behaviors. For example, I used to get really flustered in meetings when my ideas were challenged. And it took me a while, but I finally realized it stemmed from this, fear of failure I had. And once I had that awareness, yeah, I could actually develop strategies to, manage those feelings and respond more constructively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. It's like hitting the pause button before reacting, which I guess is what self-regulation is all about.
Precisely. It's the ability to manage those emotions, especially under pressure. Imagine you're leading a team through a big change. There's going to be stress, uncertainty, maybe even some resistance, right?
Oh, for sure.
And your ability to stay calm, focused, think clearly, that's crucial for guiding the team effectively.
Totally. You can't expect to lead others if you can't even manage your own emotional roller coaster first. Okay, so we've got self-awareness, self-regulation. What about motivation? Because I feel like AI is going to be super motivated all the time just by its nature.
True, but AI's motivation is externally driven.
Yeah.
It's about achieving a specific goal, completing a task. But what we're talking about here is intrinsic motivation, that inner drive, that desire to learn, grow, and contribute something meaningful.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what fuels innovation, creativity, that entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay, so it's the difference between being told what to do and actually being passionate about doing it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can program an AI to write articles,
Yeah.
right? But it's tough to program it to have a unique voice, a perspective, that creative spark that makes people actually want to read what you're writing.
That makes a lot of sense. All right, next up, empathy. Okay, this feels like a big one, maybe the most human skill on the list.
Absolutely. Empathy is the ability to understand and connect with other people's emotions. Even if they're not, directly saying how they're feeling.
It's like reading between the lines, right?
Yes. It's putting yourself in someone else's shoes, seeing things from their perspective, which honestly is so important in the workplace, especially now when collaboration is key.
Oh, 100%.
Like, let's say you're in a client meeting
Hmm.
and you can just tell, like, something isn't sitting right with them, even if they're not, openly voicing their concerns. Having empathy allows you to pick up on those nonverbal cues, address the underlying issues, and ultimately build a stronger relationship.
It's about more than just like the words being said, it's the whole picture.
Exactly. And finally, we have social skills,
Hmm.
which, might seem kind of obvious, but they're often overlooked,
Hmm.
especially in our digital world.
Oh my gosh, yes. Especially now, so much remote work, so much communication happening online. It's easy to let those things slip.
Right. But building relationships, communicating effectively, collaborating well with others, those are skills that are only going to become more valuable as AI takes over some of the more like transactional routine stuff.
It's funny, we often think about tech like replacing human connection, but this article almost makes it seem like it's going to make those skills even more important, you know?
I think so. Because if you think about it, if AI is handling things like data analysis, scheduling, even like drafting emails, it frees us up to really focus on those things that need that human touch.
Yeah.
Brainstorming creative solutions, building those relationships with clients, leading teams with empathy and understanding, that kind of thing.
Okay, so we've talked about finding meaning in our work, developing those crucial EQ skills.
Hmm.
But where does AI actually fit into all of this? Because, I mean, it's not going away, right?
Exactly. This article isn't about pretending AI isn't happening. It's about shifting our mindset, moving away from that fear and like competition with AI and moving towards like collaboration, seeing the opportunity there. Think of AI as that superpowered assistant we were talking about before.
I like that. Like having a personal assistant who can deal with all those tedious tasks, and then you're free to focus on like the big picture stuff.
Exactly. Let's say you're, I don't know, a marketing manager, right?
Yeah.
AI can analyze tons of customer data, identify trends, but it's your human insight that interprets that data. Understanding the why behind the numbers and crafting a campaign that really connects with people.
So it's not about like racing to become an AI expert ourselves. It's about understanding how to use its strengths along with our own.
Exactly. And being open to learning, experimenting, adapting as new tech emerges, right? This article really stresses that being proactive, finding your niche, and becoming amazing at those uniquely human things, that's what's going to make you valuable.
It's like AI is almost pushing us to be more human, you know? To focus on the things machines just can't replicate, the creativity, the emotional intelligence, that real connection, that's exciting.
It really is. It's not about this fear of the robots. It's about seeing what we can do when we work together. The possibilities are pretty amazing.
Well said. So to wrap things up, if you're listening to this and you're feeling that, anxiety about the future of work, remember it's about finding what you're passionate about, honing those essential human skills, and becoming the kind of person who thrives on collaboration, not competition.
I love that. And if I can just add one final thought.
Right.
Imagine tomorrow you've got an AI assistant handling all the mundane parts of your job.
Mhm.
What would you focus on instead? What would that free you up to learn, to create, to achieve? I think you'll find that the answer is a future worth getting excited about.